So Laura, mi
Yes.
nimesikia many times
Mm-hmm.
in family setups, for example, unasikia this child anatumia drugs ama this young person anatumia drugs, lakini wewe kama mzazi ukiambiwa unaweza kosa kuamini, but pia wewe unafaa ukuwe vigilant. Mi naweza juaje kama mzazi? Niangalie mtoto wangu nione hapa kila kitu hakiko sawa. What are those things that I can look at?
I'll just give you an example on it. When you are a farmer, you plant your crops. When you plant your crops, do you abandon them?
No,
Why?
kwa sababu unataka uone imekuwa ikupee faida.
You keep on coming. M&E, monitoring. You evaluate what is not right. What can I do to ensure that these plants, they grow healthy? You see?
Yeah.
You can remove other plants that are coming to compete with the nutrients of the main plant. You see? Same with the child. If you are a parent, you are given your task that by Almighty God to have the child. So you can't abandon the child and say this child will be able to grow on themselves. So when now you act as if you are the farmer and that child is a plant to you, you keep on monitoring that child. This child, why is this child avoiding me? Because once they start funny behaviors, they will start avoiding you.
Sasa Laura, what are those funny behaviors, for example?
For example, they will avoid you as a parent.
Okay.
Watakuwa wanasema they will sleep too much. You see, if they are using drugs, of course they can oversleep.
Healthy,
oversleep. Yes, they can oversleep.
Yeah.
Because they are sleeping late or they've been doing things that are not okay. Change of behaviors. They can't even look into the parents' eyes, and they can be also lazy. That's why I'm saying they can oversleep. They can take a lot of food, or they can reduce the intake of food. They can be arrogant, and they have guts. They can just answer you. They can't even know that this is my parent.
But Gen Z wanasema free speech.
No, but these Gen Zs, they're the highly affected, and according to statistics, they're the ones who are so engrossed into drugs. Yes.
Okay.
You know, Gen Z, the trick with Gen Z, you can't lecture a Gen Z. You have to see what is the right time to approach Gen Z. Gen Z is, you speak in a diplomatic way with Gen Z. Yes.
Dictatorship.
No, the way we handle Gen Z, and they respond very well.
Yeah.
You speak in a diplomatic way, and you have to be crafty.
Yes.
You have to be crafty. You can't just talk as if you're talking, a baby boomer is talking to a Gen Z. It can't work.
Because we're on different generations.
Yes, it's a different generation. You have to know. Like now, you're going to, for example, you're going to speak to His Excellence President. Are you going to, you go straight to him?
No,
you have protocol. You have to collect yourself. The same way you are collecting to this child. Remember, you at the end of the day, you are also securing their IQ. You are also securing their ego. You see?
Yes.
So you have to ensure, if it's a boy, you ensure that there's no other person who is listening to your conversation. There's no other sibling who is listening to their conversation. Same as ladies, because they get, they get damaged. Their reputation, their ego gets damaged. So you have to also see the setup, how you're going to approach them.
Because sometimes unasikia parent ako anakuongelesha afu unasikia kule nje, siku hizi mtoto ni drugs, hataki kusoma. You might have lost that child.
But now, if you keep on, I'm just saying, assuming that is a plant to you, will you abandon it?
No.
Will you abandon it? If there's no renewal, ensure that you've brought water and irrigate it.
Yes.
If it's not flourishing well, you ensure that you bring manure. You weed.
Yes.
For the plant to flourish and give you fruit and healthy fruits. If they're not giving you healthy fruit, the first stage, the second session, now you give them another tactic. You'll be able now to ask others, what are you doing that your plants are flourishing more than mine?
Same for the child.
You can also consult others because now, or you go to a counselor, to specialists. Yes, and ask them, I'm having this and this kind of changes from my child. what could be the reason triggering all this?
Yes.
You see.
Yes.
So eventually they will change
Yes.
once you use the correct criteria. But if you use the wrong approach with Gen Z and Generation Alpha, you'll miss it.
You lose
You'll
that.
miss it.
Yeah.
And you'll get depressed at the end of the day.
Because hauoni results.
Yes.
Unaona hawakusikii.
Yeah.
Unaona all your effort. You're doing so much but hauifanyi
Yes.
vizuri.
They're not even seeing what you are doing. They don't see.
And so you get frustrated.
Because if they have their own peer leaders, how can they even respect you? Their peer leaders keep on advising them every time. And you as a parent, you advise one time. Once per blue moon.
Okay. Kuna hii pia, hii notion kwa majenzi. Kwa vitu kama bang, si mbaya sana. Like it's shisha, it's part of like a culture. Kama naweza sema, si mbaya. Like wanaona tu si mbaya sana. Si kwanza wanaona like it's in some time unapata wana defend. It's medicinal in that attribute.
It's okay. That is according to their version, but their version is wrong. Scientifically and medicinally, it is wrong because they lack information. They lack the right information about drugs. A drug, I mean, you see like a bang, or you see heroin, you see cocaine. These are substances that alter the body and mind function. The moment there are some drugs as stimulants, they stimulate your body more. There are some drugs that depress your body function. So the moment you take these drugs, they change your body function. That's why I told you, I gave you an example of bank. You start seeing the world is literally moving. You start behaving in a weird way because you're hallucinating. Things are magnified, you see? And like they say that some are medicinal, they are claiming that bang is medicinal according to them. Have they gone to the lab and separated the chemical compounds in the bang? Because a bang contains more than 400 chemical compounds. How are they going to separate?
So the one that is used for medicine has been separated.
But how can you separate and you're using it?
How?
Like for example of shisha. Shisha, if you use it for one session, you end up consuming more than 150 cigars. One session, and most of them go two sessions, Friday or Saturday, and they come back on Sunday.
Laura, huwezi ambia watu ambao wanatumia shisha hivyo.
It's okay. It is okay. You know, it's a notion is this year. When you are talking to these people about issue of drug abuse,
yes,
I told you they're already engrossed into drug abuse. Change begins with them. It is a matter of disseminating information, disseminating knowledge the right way, because you can follow them and we say, now let us talk. Nyi mnaona hii mihadarati inawasaidia. Why do you say that the drugs assist you? Because when you talk to youth, watakwambia mi usini advise, mi usini advise. That's how they tell
There's
you.
There's even a song.
Yes.
Usini advise.
Even though that's why they say mi usini advise, mi usini advise. You see?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I know I can't advise you. But at the end of the day, utaketi, siku moja utajua what I was telling you is right. And when I'm advising you, maybe kuna mtu atakuja kuambia the same thing. Or maybe if, for example, I have a small group of such kind of fellas who are engrossed into drugs, there is one who will get that information. You can't tell me that when you are talking to a group that no one will be able to grasp whatever you're telling.
Kuna mmoja tu atapata.
So you mmoja, but mostly huwa tunaangalia peer leaders ndo tunawafuata.
Okay.
Peer leaders, when you talk to peer leader, the moment a peer leader changes, others follows the suit.
Yeah.
Yes.
But kuna hii apart from Gen Zs na hii shisha. Sitaki tutoke kwa shisha kabla we break it down. Because kuna watu si Gen Zs. They have their own money. They can afford to buy shisha. Mtu anaenda tu club anabuy shisha yake. Hata kuna watu wako na shisha yao kwa home. Na sasa huyo utamadvise aje? Ukimwambia hii shisha ina madhara.
It's like I told them that, you know, I don't know if in the Bible there is a purpose. Nauliza, why were you created? First, we are created to worship Almighty God. That's the core reason why we are created. And other things that we do, they're secondary things. Once you realize that you are created now to worship Almighty God, and when we do other works, they are also a form of ibadah. When you do something to get money to feed your family, when you do something to feed the community, you are also doing ibadah. But you see, now you're not doing that thing. You are ruining your body.
Yeah.
Are you doing justice to yourself? Because at the end of the day, when you die, will you leave a legacy? So what kind of legacy are you going to leave? You will have children. You will, if you end up having a family, or you have your family members, they will say, "I so and so was this and this." Don't be like, so we have. You can be an example, a good example or bad example. We have bad example of Pharaoh. Isn't it? He's being used as a bad example.
But Sister Laura anaweza sema kama mimi niko na familia, I take care of my family, I do my job, I do community good, I'm not harming, I mean all that stuff.
They are harming others because there is prenatal exposure to the surrounding. I'm telling you, if they have children, they will eventually get into drugs because they are going to imitate what they are doing. Prenatal exposure. They are killing them psychologically. They are harming them. They don't know the impact.
Yes.
But it is upon them to call a meeting with themselves. I say change begins with you. You just have to call a meeting with yourself, and no one will do that to you.
Yes.
You just have to sit and ask yourself, are you doing justice to yourself? It is all about you, not others. If you use drugs, when you die out of suicide, when you die out of health complications, it is you. It's not us.
Yes.
It's you.
Yes.
But the issue that now the effect that you get will be, it will have a ripple effect to others. Because if now you are sick and you are bedridden, who will take care of you? Your family members.
Yes. Sasa labda pia wakijua effects. Kama mimi for example nikijua effects za hii shisha I'm taking, this bang that I'm taking, hizo effects za hizo drugs, probably we should talk about that. Hizo effects zenye apart from their family, apart from usema prenatal exposure, wewe kwa health yako, those effects, what are those effects za drugs kama hizo?
Zina range. We have the effects on family.
Yes.
We have the effects on individual.
Yes.
We have the effect on society at large.
Yes.
You see, but when we talk about the individual, we have healthy complications. You see, from the mouth, tongue, the esophagus here, the respiratory system, the digestive system, it is affected. The mind is affected. Because now, for example, there are others who have the neurotransmitters. When you take some drugs, they imitate. It's a foreign thing that is given there, but now it imitates to be like a neurotransmitter, a natural transmitters. Sasa itakuwa vuta nkuvute, vuta nkuvute.
Okay.
So now you are affecting your brain, you're affecting your body outside and inside.
Yes.
And now, after you start that, now the family now, because now if you can't do, you are too dependent on the drugs, the family, you will affect family psychologically.
Yes.
They can't have peace with you because because if it's someone, you have your own money, you will end up depleting your money within no time. So you will start consuming other things alongside. So you can pickpocket. And if now there are these youths who don't have money, they're in fantasy stage, you will have big problem. You can't live in peace because now you can't trust people. You can't trust the ones who are using drugs because anytime they can take your things and sell them at a throwaway price. Yes, so that they can cater for their need. You see, and now they become a nuisance not only to the family, even the society.
Wow.
Yeah. Society, I also mean our nation, they are rendered useless because now if you wake up in the morning, what you think is about opening lock, wanasema now
naenda kufungua lock. Na actually hiyo inaonekana as a positive thing, like naenda nilitumia jana.
We have normalized these things.
Yes.
And no one wants to talk about drug abuse because they think that I don't know.
Kuna mtu alisema that actually watu ambao wanachukua drugs, some of them are actually wealthy people. Because sasa kama we have to calculate the amount that is used on drugs, kama ile ulisema bang wanachanga, the amount that comes out from there, those are, could we say, hao ni watu wako na pesa.
Sasa you see now we had peer pressure. The circle. There's no way. You see, we have even an example of fruits. If a stale fruit is combined with good fruits, it will eventually affect others. Eventually, yes. So the same case, when you are a good personality, you have good personality. When you mix with bad personality, you will eventually become part of them because there are many.
Yes.
And that is how when you are now you want to you start from getting out from drug abuse, you have to change your circle. Because ukikaa uko nyumbani umetulia, twende bwana, twende
So
nawe, mbona
hapo
unaviavia hivi?
mpaka hapo uanze kukati watu off.
Yes, you have to change your
Yes.
circle and you have to have your own. You have your stand.
Yes.
Yes, because you know at the end of the day, yes, I have money, yes, but I have not accomplished as much as I wanted. Yes, maybe you wanted to build a house, you didn't build. Maybe you're procrastinating, or you've built a house but you've not invested maybe into a business. You see, or if you have something, uh, you are not using, you are not maximizing it.
Yeah.
Okay, you see,
Yeah.
yeah.
How live your full potential.
Yes, yes, it hinders you. Drugs hinders you. And you know, mind you, people who take drugs, most of them, they are good people. I'm telling you, just observe. They are good, but the largest percentage,
Mtu roho
they are
safi.
good. They are good, they are good people. But Iblis tempered with them. The peer pressure tempered with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bright
Because,
people.
yes, most of them, they have high IQ, but they've distracted themselves. They are ruined because now of drug abuse.
Yes.
Yes.
Because actually there has to be a correlation, because
And
that is
people,
actually
yeah,
something I've also observed, like watu ambao wanatumia drugs, some of them are very bright people.
they are bright people. They are people with good personality. Wako na utu. You see? Wako na utu.
But
But pombe imewaribia.
yes.
Yeah. Pombe, mihadarati imewaribia. No, si pombe. Now,
Yeah.
it's not about now men.
Yeah.
Even women are taking drugs.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if you're taking drugs as a woman, if you have a house,
Yes.
what are you expecting to the children? They will sleep before you. They see their mother behaves well when they take drug.
Yes.
You are even damaging the reputation of your family. The children in school, they get bullied for that. I'm telling you, they get
Yes.
bullied. They are told that your mother is so and so and so. What can you tell us?
Yes.
So once they bullied, they don't perform well in school.
The ripple effect.
Yes, and it actually affects them all the way to their maturity stage, because now that thing, I remember, I know very much well, you personally, as Stella, once, most of the things that you are told when you are a child, most of the things that you saw when you were a child, those memories have not vanished.
True.
Yes,
True.
it actually affects someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Umemention kitu ambayo sitaki tuiache. Ukisema about alcohol. There's this thing called pasha. Sijui kwa communities zingine inaitwa aje. Sijui kwa communities zenu inaitwa aje. But kuna hii tu inaitwa pasha. In Taita, that is how it's known. And this is a local niseme brewery, like a pombe. Na sasa kuna ile local pombe ile ya kitambo, ile ilikuwa inatengenezwa. But that is not pasha. Kuna hii pasha sasa ilikuwa hapa. Inapasha watu. Can we talk about that?
Okay. Pasha especially inakuwa consumed na youth. Youth ndo wanatumia pasha sana. Na wengi ambao wanatumia pasha ni wale walianza na chanusu, ile 50 bob, ile ya 50 chanusu, hizo spirit.
Okay.
Ndio wengi wanatumia hiyo pasha. Sasa unaona wengi wamejaribu na hiyo spirit ambayo inachoma maini.
Cha nusu inasaviwa nusu ama?
Yes, you have your 50 bob unapata.
Kakota.
Yani hata kakota unapata because
Okay.
nasi unajua zimepanda.
Okay.
Lakini with 50 bob you're good to go. No, you're losing it.
Yes.
You hustle hard instead of saving. You can save that 50 bob. You go and use it to do something that harms your body at the end of the day. Most of the accidents we're having with the motorbikes is because of the pasha and the spirits they are using it.
Yeah.
So this pasha actually affects the body heavily because it goes directly to the liver. And we know the function of liver, and it damages the body. So once the entire system inside is damaged, now it comes out, it manifests outside. Now they become the bowels, the body's bowels wanafura,
Waga unaona wamefura.
and then there's they are shiny kama mandazi vile. Unaona hata
Wamewekwa hamira.
akipata pancha au apate an injury, an external injury, they don't get healed easy.
Okay.
Kidonda kinatoa maji, yani wanafanya kupasuka.
Okay.
So ukianza kufura hivyo umefika stage mbaya.
Kama tu vile mandazi yanafura pia yeye.
Yes.
Okay. Na
It
sasa
is so bad, na vijana wengi wanaitumia right now.
Yes.
Na ni hawa ambao wanatumia pasha na spirit.
Sasa wengi wanaotumia pia hawajui, labda wengine labda wanajua, lakini wengine labda hawajui hii pasha inatengezwaje, because there's how the alcohol is made, maybe tunasema zile zimepitia standards, zimewekwa mhuri na KEBS, lakini kuna hii sasa ingine
inawadanganya, manake vijana wengine wanataka waonekane wako na vitambi, ndio waonekane like umeanza kuwa bazuu. See, sasa wengi wana prefer hiyo pasha kwa sababu ya mambo hayo, wanataka yani waonekane bazuu na wanataka na but in the long run you're not healthy, you're damaging, you're doing more than harm to your body. Yes. I told you from the beginning, you are the one who will suffer, no one else will suffer.
Yes.
We are just disseminating knowledge. It is free. Knowledge is free. Because according to Quran, the first verse that came out, you are told, Ikra, read. We are told to read. When you read religious information, it will assist you. You'll know that you're supposed to do charity. That if you have money, you can't just misuse it, because at the end of the day, as I gave you money, what did you use with it? But when you do your secular information, the secular education, it will give you knowledge and skills, so you can be able to do 1, 2, 3 that you can be able to bring on the table.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
So both religion, both education is important. Religious and secular ones, they are important. You see? But now you don't want to get their information and knowledge. Most of them nowadays, they can't even read a whole paragraph. They just want sentences. People are lazy nowadays. They don't like reading. If they don't want reading, how can they be able to listen to something that is lengthy? But we can just hit them with scientific facts.
Yes.
Like bang has more than 400 chemicals. And you see the tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, is the one that causes insanity.
Ndio
inatia uchizi.
So when people say amekuwa chizi, alikuwa anatumia bangi, is there some truth in that?
Hiyo tetrahydrocannabinol, hiyo THC, hiyo ndio inatia uchizi. Sayansi inasema inatia uchizi. Na kwanza bangi ya sahi inatia uchizi kuliko bangi ya mababu zetu waliotumia. Scientifically right now, hii bangi ya sahi iko na THC levels ziko juu sana. Na sasa sahi hawatumii bangi ya kawaida, wanachanganya ile inaitwa shash. Shash. Ukisikia hiyo ni bangi hiyo, ambayo toka Ethiopia, ambayo imekaushwa na petroli. Ndio wanaitaka. Ndio inashika vizuri, inapasha vizuri.
Alright.
So now you're adding petrol. Si kuna wale wanatumia petroli, they sniffing the petrol.
Wow.
And glue. So you're adding petrol, you're adding bang. And I'm telling you for free, the moment you start consuming one drug, you will eventually use it alongside other drugs. When you start smoking cigarette, you'll eventually smoke bang. Then you use along it with alcohol. You use along with you start using cocaine and heroin. You start injecting yourself. Now you get sexual transmitted diseases. We have other complications out of it. And according to statistics, currently the statistics, you are seeing now Gen Z that the most affected with HIV rate.
Yes.
And this is because now of the issue of peer pressure. Because now once they consume bang, they have the parties.
Yes.
They have the parties. When they call parties, we have sessions that we have, they bring cookies or biscuits that are baked with bang, with high percentage of bang. So, yes. So once the ladies take the bang, they are now get into... They lose themselves and they start behaving weird, and now men take advantage of them. They even have gang rape of even 7. So when it comes into reality, will you come normal out of it as a lady?
Yes, but the thing with that, Laura, ni ladies or even Gen Zs na sahi kwa culture, hata gang rape and things like that zimepewa good name, zinaitwa orgies, and people actually wanaenda wakifikiria we are going to kishash, unasikia kishash kwamba tunaenda tuna smoke bang and after that we will have orgies.
Yes, because they're in fantasy stage. Because why, if actually they enjoy that thing, they should do it in sober. Can they do it? They go to the third stage, factual stage. Will they do it sober when they are sober?
No,
If they're actually happy with that
that
thing.
is a good question.
Will they do it if they're actually happy with what they're doing?
Yeah.
Can they do it when they are sober?
Yes.
At sobriety stage?
Yes, that is a good question for us.
They can't.
Something to evaluate. Na sasa pia kuna hii ambayo imekuja na it was serikali ilijaribu kuifight but ni kama imeshindikana, na hii ni miraa na migoka. Na kuna hii notion kuwa si mbaya sana kama drugs zingine. What is the truth in that?
Hiyo kwanza ndo ina deplete ma white blood cells.
Okay.
Na inaleta, unaona iko na inakula meno. So unaona vile inakula meno?
Mtu anajaza huku.
Inakula meno. Umeona watu ambao wanatumia hizi vitu vile wanakaa meno? Nakaa kama panzi. You're a lady, you can't even have a smile because your teeth are all black.
Lakini
no, because hao ni wale wamefika ile stage wamefika mpaka wakakuwa addictive.
Yes.
But now once you are consuming it, una develop even gastritis.
Yes.
You develop ulcers alongside esophagus. But then you're also prone to get throat cancer, mouth cancer. There's a lot. You're not taking food. Imagine even I don't know how to put it. We are omnivorous, and we have herbivorous. Herbivorous, they chew grass, but after chewing grass, they sit and chew cud. But you don't have strong muscles like herbivorous.
Like tumejirengesha ng'ombe.
Yeah, literally. Tumejirengesha mbuzi, tumejirengesha ng'ombe, yes.
Because our jaws haziwezi support.
Why can't you take greens that can add something to your body? Because we know greens, they are so beneficial to our bodies.
Yes.
Yes. But you are taking it in a wrong way. And when they start doing this thing, they can take for more than 5 hours. They're just chewing. So you are rendered useless. Those 5 hours, we have how many hours? 24 hours. 8 hours for personal development. So those 8 hours, that's when now you can be able to develop yourself personally. You can develop yourself career-wise. You can develop yourself religious-wise. You can be able, now that's when you'll be able to monitor as a parent. This plant, my child, what are the pros and cons? What is happening with my child with those 8 hours? Now you're using your 8 hours to use drugs.
Manze, point ni kali. Able to pause there for now. This is food for thought. Point is something that unasikia ufikirie watu in your community, in your family.